Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Nick Beaupre from Resultsfunnel.com. I am super excited today because today I'm going to be taking you through step-by-step Amy Porterfield's webinar funnel from start to finish. I'm going to be talking about her Facebook ads, what she does great with her Facebook ads. I'm going to be talking about her landing pages, her webinars, her email follow-up sequences, and how they've been carefully and masterfully crafted to get you to watch her webinar, get back into her funnel if you've left, and of course end up buying her course that she sells for $9.97. Now, if you haven't already heard of who Amy Porterfield is, she is a master marketer. She has one of the top business marketing podcasts right now on iTunes. She has almost 250,000 subscribers. I think she actually just passed that the other day. She has multiple seven-figure online courses, online training programs that she regularly runs now multiple times throughout the year. And she is just crushing it as a marketer and as an influencer right now on the internet. And it's funny because the other day I was scrolling through my Facebook newsfeed and I came across one of her ads that she was running to get people to her webinar training, and it was so well written. Her ad was so well written. The headline, the copy, the text, the story that she was telling in her Facebook ad was so well done, and it just stopped me in my tracks, stopped me in my scrolling my Facebook newsfeed. I went to her webinar page, and again, I was blown away by how good it was, everything about it, and I knew right then and there that this Amy Porterfield's webinar funnel would be the perfect case study, not only for me to document for myself so that I could look back and refer to when I'm building my next webinar funnel, either for myself or for a client, but also, and I'd say most importantly, for you guys to refer to model, and obviously duplicate for your own webinar funnel in your own businesses. And I'm a huge believer in modeling what works. So I remember I first heard that coin or that concept from Tony Robbins, and I remember I was driving in my car and I was listening to his business mastery course, which if you haven't already heard it or haven't already got your hands on it, it is hands down probably the best business marketing course program you can find, period. And I've gone through so many, I've read so many books about business, about marketing at this point, and Tony Robbins comes out and he delivers in such a massive way. But going back to my story, driving in my car, I remember I was driving and he talks about this concept of modeling what works. And whatever result you want to achieve, whatever it is you want to get in your life, find people who are already doing that and then model them. And you know, he says it's the science of achievement, and finding what's already working, finding the people who are already successful at whatever it is you want to experience and get and achieve for yourself and in your own life, and model and do exactly what they're doing. So I'm a huge believer in that, and I'm a huge believer in taking funnels that I know are already producing 7 figures, 6 figures, whatever it is, and modeling them, duplicating them for myself and for my own clients. So that's why we're here today. That's why we're going to be looking at Amy Porterfield's master webinar funnel. Before we jump into it, make sure you download the free funnel blueprint for this specific funnel for Amy Porterfield's webinar funnel. It has her ad, everything that she does really well. It has her Facebook ad. It has her traffic strategies, all of her landing pages blown up, documented, talked about. It has her funnel scripts. So she uses 7 emails in a specific sequence that are all masterfully written, masterfully crafted. I've documented everything for you in a PDF. It's all in this funnel blueprint. And of course, everything's for free. So make sure you click the button below this video to download your free funnel blueprint so that you can, while you're watching this video, you can take notes and refer to the blueprint, to her ads, to her landing pages, everything that she does incredibly well for yourself along with this video. So let's talk about how Amy Porterfield sends highly targeted traffic to her webinar funnel and converts registrants into her 7-figure online course called Courses That Convert. So this funnel, before we jump right into it, this funnel will work for coaches, consultants, educators, trainers, service professionals, small business owners, entrepreneurs, therapists, you name it. Pretty much anyone who is giving away information, anyone who is giving away expertise could use this webinar funnel in their own business to sell more products, you name it. A couple of the key ingredients of this funnel: Facebook ad, webinar landing page, a survey bridge page, which is almost like, think of it kind of like a tie-in that brings you from the webinar registration page to the thank you page. And Amy Porterfield honestly was one of the first people that I saw use this survey bridge page in such a masterfully and artfully way that seamlessly transitions her webinar landing page to her thank you page. And you're going to see what she does. I think it's incredibly awesome what she does and how she uses this in her webinar funnel. And of course, you're going to see the tricks that she does and be able to apply it into your own business and into your own webinar funnel for yourself. So you can use this funnel, guys, to fill up your webinar training, build a retargeting list, attract new customers to your business, establish rapport and expertise with your audience as you're giving or delivering your webinar presentation, convert more leads into customers, and of course, automate, grow, and scale your business. So with that being all said, all that good stuff out of the way, let's jump right into it. Let's jump right into Amy Porterfield's master webinar funnel. So this is what a typical webinar funnel looks like. I've gotten this picture, this graph, this diagram from the Funnel Hackers Cookbook, courtesy of Russell Brunson and his software that he recently launched, ClickFunnels. He does, and the book does a really great job of kind of outlining the key pages in your typical webinar funnel or your typical opt-in lead magnet funnel. Whatever kind of funnel it is that you're building, he does a really great job of outlining the process and the different ingredients that make up a successful funnel. So I always like to pull this up and refer to it first and foremost because it just helps us get a really good insight into kind of what the funnel looks like when it's sketched out, when it's in a simple, plain, easy to read, easy to understand format. So I'm going to break it down now. Let's get right into, first of all, the webinar registration page. So what Amy does really, really well, and you're going to see it here in a sec, is she, in her webinar registration pages, she copies the design, all of her elements, all of her messaging, all of her imagery from her Facebook ad and brings it right into her webinar registration landing page. And she gives all of the information to help you make a decision whether the webinar is right for you or not, whether you should click X or click back or submit your information and go to the next step. She's a clear title, a subtitle, and a really clear button. You'd actually be surprised at how many people and how many clients I work with that don't have these key ingredients on their webinar registration page, their landing pages for that matter. And Amy is just kind of like a shining example of what an incredibly crafted landing page, webinar registration landing page looks like. So here it is. This is her webinar registration landing page here. She copies the design of her Facebook ad, which I'm going to show you in a couple of slides. She gives you all the information you need to make a decision about signing up. Her title is clear, her subtitle is clear, her buttons are clear. She has this really great image of her, right, that just kind of positions her, pre-positions you to her, who she is, kind of what she looks like, because if you do decide to take the next step, you are going to be seeing more of her and hearing more of her. She uses lead pages to create this amazing webinar landing page. And if you guys need help creating a webinar registration landing page as good as this, you can go to lead pages. They have so many great free resources that you can pull from, that you can look and refer to. And they also have a really great article called Help, Why My Landing Page Isn't Working, 7 Common Flaws That May Be Blocking Your Success. If you're having trouble creating your webinar registration landing page and making it look this awesome, highly recommend you check out those articles. I'll put a link to that article in the funnel blueprint, just so that you can refer to after you've finished watching this video. So next we have, in your typical webinar funnel, you have what we call a confirmation page. And basically, a confirmation page is just a page that confirms that you've signed up. It might sell a couple of more of the things, or a couple of more of the key ingredients or secrets that you'll be covering or learning, teaching people in the webinar. Generally speaks to a known desire and result of your target audience, right? Right at the top, right in the headline, and it has high perceived value. You're going to learn a ton of information, and the confirmation page is it's really designed to just get you excited and get you pumped for this training session that you're going to learn a ton of information from. Amy does something completely different, and this is really why when I was going through her funnel on the weekend, I just stopped in my tracks and I was like, whoa, this is amazing, and I have to document this, not only for myself, but I also have to share this with other people and show others what she's doing. So Amy's confirmation page, really what she's doing is she's almost tricking you into thinking that you're almost done, when really you are done. You've signed up for her webinar, you've clicked a time, you've given her your name and your email address, you've done everything that's required to sign up for her webinar training. But she puts this in as the next step in her webinar funnel. And what I think is so amazing about this is she's now surveying you before she delivers the webinar. And if you're like me, if you're like most people, you're going to click on one of these things or on one of these buttons here, which is going to help her deliver the content that you want to learn about and that you want to hear about, which I think is such an amazing idea, an amazing way, amazing page to put in your webinar funnel, in any funnel for that matter, because it allows you to survey your audience even before you've delivered your presentation, delivered your webinar. Russell Brunson talks about this course that he used to take, Ed Dale, and I think it was Frank Kern. I believe it was Frank Kern, but definitely Ed Dale was in it. And they say that marketing is really, really simple. All you got to do is find a hot market, which is what Amy Porterfield's done here. Her hot market are beginners. Ask them what they want, and then third, give it to them. And Amy Porterfield is doing exactly this in her webinar funnel. She's offering them a juicy free training, and then after you've clicked and you've confirmed for her training, she's asking you what you want to learn in the webinar. And then obviously during the webinar, she's just going to talk about these subjects or the most submitted subjects or topics on this one simple page. So smart, so masterfully done. I'm going to use this in my own webinar funnels, and I really, really hope you guys do the same, so that when you come to your training, when you come to your webinar, whatever it is that you're offering, you're going to know exactly what people want to learn and what people want to study and learn about. So smart, so well done. The next page in your typical webinar funnel is your thank you page. You want to make sure it's clear. It matches the other pages in your funnel. We call this scent. You want to make sure it's relevant, and then provide some next steps. And if you're not providing next steps, then put in some some social sharing icons so that you can create some perpetual traffic streams. And what I mean by perpetual traffic streams is exactly what Amy's doing here. All her thank you pages is just a black page, black screen that says spread the word. And when you either click one of these two buttons, either share on Facebook or share on Twitter, this is what happens. Your Facebook profile pops up and this really nice looking graphic comes up, and you're given the choice to share it on your timeline. And it's so well done. It's so well carefully crafted, because when you sign up for her training, you're pumped, right? You're excited. You're going to learn something. So what do you naturally want to do? You want to share it. You want to talk about it. You want to say, hey guys, hey Susan, I just signed up to this really cool training. You should hop on it. You should join it with me. And Amy Porterfield is just making that whole process. She's facilitating that whole process and making it super, super easy for you to fall into and actually do. And by doing that, she's creating a perpetual traffic stream, because if she can pay for, let's say she pays $1.50, drives you to her funnel, you sign up, and then now you share it with your friends, and she gets 15 other people from your social network to sign up for her class, all from that original $1.50. That is masterful marketing, guys. That is perpetual traffic, and that is really making the most bang for your buck in terms of your marketing funnel, in terms of your marketing strategy. So this pop-up, this social share, I love it also because I mentioned earlier, it has a beautifully crafted image. It matches her initial Facebook ad, 4 steps ago. It has a benefit-driven headline, and now she's got social proof, which is you. And now you're helping her market her course to all of your friends, which I think is so genius. It's so well done. So there you have it. There's Amy Porterfield's master webinar funnel in a nutshell. Again, make sure you download the free funnel blueprint for Amy Porterfield's master funnel webinar. I have all of the ads here for you guys to just duplicate. Remember, I talked about modeling what works. Duplicate and craft into your own funnels and into your own webinar funnels. So let's talk about really quickly Amy Porterfield's Facebook ad, and then we'll talk about her email sequence, and then we'll just wrap this up and try and keep it nice and short here today. So a couple of key things when you're creating a Facebook ad, when you're creating a Facebook ad campaign, the first thing that you're going to come to on Facebook and in the Power Ads Manager is your campaign objective. Now, pretty sure that Amy Porterfield is, I'm like 99% sure, certain that Amy Porterfield is, as her campaign objective, driving traffic to her webinar registration page. And then she's got really specific targeting. She's targeting beginners. She's targeting business owners, coaches, consultants, educators, instructional teachers, personal trainers, yoga teachers, anyone who's in kind of an expert capacity or instructional capacity. That's who Amy Porterfield's targeting, and she's targeting beginners. So beginners who are just getting started in the world of online marketing. She has her target market super zoned in, super honed in, as you will be able to tell from her email copy, her email scripts, as well as her webinar presentation, which I'll talk about in the next 3 or 4 slides. But couple more key ingredients into a successful Facebook ad. You want to have a strong offer. You want to make sure that your copy is speaking to a pain point and mentioning a specific end benefit if possible. You want to make sure that your Facebook ad ties in with the creative elements of the rest of your funnel, right? And that's exactly what Amy Porterfield has done in her Facebook ad. First time I saw it, like I said, and I was just like, wow, this is a really, really good Facebook ad. And I look at so many Facebook ads throughout the day. I build them for my own clients, for myself, and Amy's ad was just so well done because she's hitting on each one of these points. So Amy, first of all, in her ad right up here, she tells a story. She tells a story about her first course and how she failed massively and how over time she got better and better and better. And Amy, I know that Amy's focus right now, just having listened to a lot of her recent podcasts, her focus now is on becoming an expert storyteller, and she's well on her way to doing that. She hits a huge, huge pain point too, right in her ad. Her copy, her image is extremely eye-catching, like this red kind of reddish pink button here that says register now. I love it. It ties in with the rest of her image ad, and her headline tells you what she's offering. Register now, how to confidently create your first profitable course in 60 days. It's so specific, and it's your first profitable course. So again, she's targeting those beginners, those people who maybe have created a course in the past and have failed, or people who would like to create a course or have been dreaming of creating a course, and this is going to be their first one. So she's targeting those beginners. And then she reiterates her call to action in her ad copy down here. So she says, discover why perseverance is how you can create your own course that converts to sales. And then I've actually documented her entire ad here. Again, this whole part here is basically her telling her story of how she failed, how she overcome the obstacles that were in her way, and now she does multiple 7-figure courses every year. So again, this is going to be in the free funnel blueprint that you can download, and of course refer to and model for yourself when you're creating your own Facebook ads for your own webinar funnels. So I'm a big believer, I already mentioned it, in modeling what works. So I'm for sure going to be referring back to this video and also the funnel blueprint for myself when I'm creating webinar funnels for my clients and in my own business. So last but not least, let's wrap this up here with Amy's email sequence. She has a total of 7 emails that go out after you click confirm and register for her webinar. So Amy preaches, or Amy teaches, you want to send out anywhere from 5 to 7 emails, basically leading up to a webinar, during your webinar presentation, and post-webinar. And Amy does a really, really great job of doing that. All of her content in her email essentially pre-sells her webinar training, sells the sizzle and not the steak, and gets you excited, gets you pumped, and ignites curiosity. Okay, I really got to be there for this training because I'm going to learn all this great stuff. And she does a phenomenal job of that. I have her email scripts all here that you will be able to download along with this funnel blueprint in a PDF so that you can refer to and obviously model for yourself in your own business. I mean, I know I'm going to be referring to her email follow-up sequence myself in my own funnels, because what she's done here and how she's written how she's done her copywriting in these emails is just, it's so well done. She really is a master marketer, or at least her people are, if she's not writing this copy for herself. So post-webinar, she makes her emails conversational, detailed. She focuses on the benefits and the transformation that she's promising by taking her course. And she uses stories to connect with her potential buyers, and of course get them back into that webinar setting, right, which is here, so that you can watch your presentation again, get all hyped, get all pumped up and excited, and of course ultimately click the buy button. So Amy's replay page, very simple. It's basically just the one page, and it has her webinar training video hosted on Vimeo. Her webinar page is hosted by Lead Pages, and then as you get towards the end of her webinar, a button pops up and you can click buy it and buy her course. And this is what her course page looks like. I actually have the link to her course webpage. I will put it in the funnel blueprint, but what I've found is most digital marketers like Amy Porterfield, they'll put up their course, and then after the course is done, they'll take down that link, and then the link is just a dead, useless link. So that's why I didn't put it here in the presentation in this video. I will put it in the funnel blueprint just for you to click on and see her course, but don't be surprised if you click on it and it doesn't work. That's probably because, for sure, that's because Amy has taken that page down and it's no longer relevant to her and to her business. But if you can, if it does work, definitely check it out. Amy Porterfield has a whole team of people putting together these beautifully done, beautifully crafted landing pages, as well as course pages for all of her online courses and all of her online training programs. So that is it, guys. That is Amy Porterfield's Master Webinar Funnel. In a couple of her podcasts, she's talked about, or she's mentioned, that typically she spends anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 to fill up one of her webinars, anywhere from 3 to 5 days before she actually does it, before she actually conducts her webinar. And you may be thinking, okay, that's a lot of money. I don't have $1,500, I don't have $2,500 to spend on filling up my webinar. And my recommendation would be to start small. If this is your first time, if you are getting started with a webinar, just start small. Spend maybe $150, right, or $300 to get a couple of attendees to your webinar, to get those applications in, or to make sales, whatever it is that you're trying to sell or deliver. Amy Porterfield, again, I know this just from listening to a couple of her podcasts. She will typically get anywhere from 500 to 1,000 to 1,500 webinar attendees. Let's say if she has a 10% conversion rate, right? 100 people times the value or the price of the course that she's selling, which is $997. She's making anywhere from $80,000 to $100,000 just from one webinar, and just from one course. And she has, I think, 3 or 4 courses now that she regularly promotes throughout the year. And I know for this webinar that courses that convert program that she's running right now, I know she promotes this and she does these webinars repeatedly for about 3 to 5 weeks. So let's say she does maybe 2 webinars a week, right? That's roughly 200 grand, right? She is probably doing anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000 over the course of maybe 3 or 4 or 5 weeks for this one program. And then she does it for her other program and her other program and her other program. And as you can see, it's really easy to see just the massive scale at which she's operating, at which she's conducting these masterfully crafted webinar funnels. And, obviously, this is the perfect funnel you can model and duplicate and replicate for yourself in your own business. So, guys, that's it for today's training. Thank you so much for watching. Here's what to do next. Here are your next steps. Download the free blueprint for this funnel. Just go to resultsfunnel.com/download 5. Secondly, join our private members only Facebook group. It's a new group that I've created where it's comprised of entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants who are looking to get the edge and who are looking to build automated and scalable funnels in their business that will give them the freedom that they want, whatever that freedom is or whatever that freedom means to them, whether it's freedom financially, whether it's freedom from time, whether it's freedom from a mobility standpoint where they can work from wherever and whenever. Join the group. Every Thursday I post my live trainings to the group, and then on Fridays we do a Q&A session where if anyone has questions about building funnels, if funnels can work for them, I hop on live. I hop on a Facebook Live, answer all of those questions for you guys. And then last but not least, before I let you go, join us this Thursday for a free live training. It's going to be a funnel building workshop, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask questions, and it'll be more of like a brainstorming session where I'll hop on, answer questions. I'll actually build a funnel live for you guys to see just how easy it is. And yeah, we'll go from there. So make sure you guys follow these next steps. Download the free blueprint for Amy Porterfield's master webinar funnel, and I will see you guys in the next training. Thanks for watching.